friends, welcome back to my channel. In part 1, I hope you understood the basics of flower and some points about pre-fertilization. So let's continue from pollen grains where we have left in the last class. So our chapter is sexual reproduction in flowering plants, part 2. Let's see. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Be free to ask. I'll answer all your questions below in the comment section. So let's get started. Pollen grains represent the male gametophytes. As I said, pollen grains are made of two-layered wall, which is exine and intine. This is the diagram of pollen grain in which you can see exine and intine layer. Then comes the first one, that is exine, which is made of sporopollenin, most resistant organic matter known. It can withstand high temperatures and strong acids and alkali. No enzyme can degrade sporopollenin. Then the second layer is intine, which is thin and continuous layer, which is made of cellulose and pectin. Then germ pores, which is present. I will show you in the diagram. Germ pores are the apertures on exine where sporopollenin is absent. It forms pollen tube. And plasma membranes which surround cytoplasm of pollen grain. You can see in this box germ pore is seen in exine layer. Then comes the mature pollen. Mature pollen consists of two cells with nucleus, vegetative and generative. As you can say your NCERT diagram. Vegetative cell. It is bigger in size and it has abundant food reserve. It is large, irregular nucleus and it is responsible for the development of pollen grain. It is pollen grain shown in the image. Then second one is generative cell, which is small and it involves syngamy. Syngamy, it is fused with an egg and dense cytoplasm and nucleus is present. You can see in this image exine. Pollen grains of many species, for example Parthenium, causes severe allergies like bronchial asthma, and in some cases it leads to chronic respiratory disorders like asthma, bronchitis, etc. Then pollen grains are rich in nutrients and are used as pollen tablets as food supplement. Viability of pollen grains varies with species to species and should land on stigma before this period to germinate. In this image you can see pollen tablets and in the second image you can see pollen products which people usually take. Pollen grains of large number of species are stored in liquid nitrogen at the temperature of -96 degree, which is stored in the pollen bank, and it is also known as cryopreservation. And it is not only for pollen grains, it is also used for many cells, organelles, tissues or any biological construct by cooling the samples to very low temperatures. It is cryopreservation. And in this image you can see how pollen grains are stored using the technique of cryopreservation. These are stored pollen grains which can be used further. Then comes the pistil, megasporangium and ovule and embryo sac. Megasporangium is usually used for the term ovule. You can see the stigma, style and ovary in the flower. Then comes the gynoecium. Gynoecium is female reproductive part which may consist of single pistil, monocarpellary. Single pistil, it is monocarpellary. If it is more than one pistil, polycarpellary, which may be fused. If it is fused, then syncarpous, or it is free, apocarpous. You can see in this flower, it is fused, so it is syncarpous. And second flower you can see apocarpous. It is not fused, it is free. Then see this diagram. First one is monocarpus, one carpel. Second one is apocarpus, multiple unfused carpels. It is not fused, so it is apo. Then syncarpus. Syn means fused. So increasingly it can be seen. Then comes the multicarpellary and syncarpous pistils. Example, it is papaver. Multicarpellary and apocarpous pistil. Example is Michelia. First one diagram it is of papaver and second diagram is of Michelia. You can see. So these were the some examples of multicarpellary and syncarpous apocarpous flower. Each pistil has three parts: the stigma, the style, and the ovary. Inside the ovary is ovarian cavity, which is also known as locule. You can see in this diagram. The placenta is located inside the ovarian cavity. Megasporangia, which is ovule, arise from placenta, as you can see in this diagram. Placenta is arising from ovary wall, pericarp, the frenule, ovule. So from next class we will start with megasporangium, that is ovule. Till that, keep revising. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Till that, keep revising. I hope you understood it well. Good luck. Keep preparing. Be free to ask. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section below. I will be answering all your questions and queries. Best wishes to you.